wanted to pop in really quick and let you know of a bonus video that we have for this series. I am super excited at the amazing knowledge, insight, and inspiration you'll get from all of our episodes this month. But I also wanted to provide a bonus video to help you actually implement what our amazing experts are sharing with you. To walk with you step by step in how to create intention, clarity, and a plan to have a successful new year. So stay tuned to the end of this episode so you can find out how to access our bonus video. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Oversight Global, a new year, a new you series for all December long. We are closing out the year with clarity, intention, and inspiration for the new year. Again, my name is Angelique Kapoor. For those of you who don't know me, I am a career and leadership coach. I'll be your series host as well as the founder of Oversight Global. At Oversight Global, we address the consciousness crisis in the world by educating and empowering leaders to be aware of and strive to fulfill their fullest potential and uniquely contribute to the world. Today, I am so excited to have John Slocum back. He is a trauma and stroke survivor, as well as the founder of the Servant Leader Meetup Group in South Florida. He's authored 2 books, Science of Feeling Good, as well as his upcoming book, Emotional Healing, Reclaiming Your Identity. In these books, John teaches us how to heal from trauma, stress, and other disorders by using our emotions. According to John, true healing is impossible without an understanding of how trauma and stress affect our nervous system. John, thank you so much for being here again. Welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Of course. So let's go ahead and dive into talking about intentional goal setting. So what are your thoughts on intentional goal setting? What does that mean?
You know, I really like the subject of intentional goal setting. And, you know, for a new year, I'd like to see us try something new. Mm-hmm. Because we all know, you know, the past failings of, especially New Year's resolutions.
Right.
And, you know, it kind of fits my definition or the definition of insanity, trying the same thing and expecting different results. Mm-hmm. So the new year and the new you, to me, you know, I'd stress, you know, reclaiming your identity. And by that, I mean your feelings. You know, mm-hmm. How we feel is everything to us. And when we're in a good mood, we can do things. We're in a great mood, we can leap buildings in a single bound.
Right.
But when we're not feeling good, we cannot get these things done. And we end up being controlled by our environment and by our circumstances. Mm-hmm. So we just went through a major change in the consciousness. I love the work that you're doing because we're certainly conscious of where we are and what's going on around us. Mm-hmm. Since we're in this new phase, you know, let's take control finally of how we feel and how we're impacted by the things around us, and doing it in a systematic way that, you know, we're going to be in a good mood most of the time, and when we're not, you know, the resilience will be through the roof and we'll just bounce right back. So to me, it's taking control of how we feel.
I love that. So what are your thoughts on, I mean, you touched on it a little bit with your answer there, but what are your thoughts on the importance of people doing intentional goal setting for thinking about the new year that's coming up? You know, what are your thoughts on that?
Right. Again, I love the word intentional or a conscious effort. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we've really been controlled by external events, I'll call them. And I'd like to point out the fact that we're told so many times of the things that are not going well. They're not doing good in the world. You know, this is happening and that is happening. And that has an effect on all of us, mm-hmm. Globally speaking. You know, so whether we, you know, understand the impact that it's having on us or not, it really is having an impact on us. So when we intentionally set these goals, what we're doing is, you know, we're surrounding ourselves, you know, we're putting like an umbrella of protection around ourselves and saying that we're responsible for how we feel. Now we understand more than ever before how to control how we feel. Mm. And since we have this information, let's finally apply it in our own lives consciously, and we decide exactly what mood we're going to be in, because now we understand exactly how to do it. And we'll share a couple of things. I'll share some things with you now so you can really understand the power that we have in our hands, once we understand it, and especially if we intentionally apply it in our lives.
Yes, I definitely agree with you there. So what methods or strategies have you found to be helpful to you in being successful with setting your goals intentionally and also achieving goals? I mean, I think we know that, a lot of people go into the new year setting these New Year's resolutions, but then, 2 weeks later, they're done pursuing those goals. So what are some methods and strategies that we can use to really be successful in creating our goals as well as achieving them by the time period that we give ourselves?
Once we, decide that we're going to, do this, that we're going to take control, one of the things that we have to understand is that, we're energy. Our whole being is energy, down to the very finest cell, or down to the atom in our bodies.
Right.
And they emit energy. We can actually measure it. I mean, we call them vibrations and frequencies, but we have this energy inside of us. So once we understand that, and then we understand that our three main energy consumers in our body would be our brain, our heart, and our gut. And they're so intertwined that, we have illnesses, that afflict all of us if they're out of balance. Whether it's irritable bowel syndrome, whether it's depression and anxiety, whether it's high blood pressure, all that has to do with these three main energy consumers in our body. So once we understand the power of the breath, and I'm going to do a very quick demonstration with you to show you the impact of it and the immediacy of it, because it's so powerful. But once we capture that, the energy consumers now are energy givers. You see, and now we're able to heal, we're able to do things that we'd like to do, as opposed to being affected from everything that's coming from the outside. Well, I should say the easiest way, the most powerful thing that we can do is using the breath and using our emotions and using other things, whether it's dancing or movement or singing, but our sense of awe, if it's something that's, that where we're awestruck, this is something that's very, very useful for us, when we're reclaiming how we want to feel. And here, let's do a quick demonstration of its power of the breath. First, we're going to talk about the breath. I'll do this quick demonstration, and then we'll talk about it a little more. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the 8-4 method and the 8-1 method. And remember, by breathing like this, it's actually allowing us to have like a meditative type effect, because we're blocking out everything else by counting down backwards, and our mind is really focused and engaged. So let's inhale for 8-4. Do that one. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and exhale 8-1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And inhale 8-4, but this time smile with it. And exhale 8-1. And I want you to remember something that brings you joy. And do it one more time. Inhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And exhale. So just that quickly, you've literally taken control of your entire nervous system by using the breath. If you slow down your heart rate immediately, you smile, so you literally dose yourself with the feel-good chemicals in your body. And then you remembered something that brought you great joy. We have techniques for all of these. And what that does, it lights up a part of your brain that makes you remember things, that makes it stick with you. And how do we know that? We can all remember a time when someone or something made us feel bad.
Right.
And it sticks with us. And sometimes it just springs out of nowhere. We just have these feelings. So imagine you taking control of that, and you're saying, I'm going to decide to put something inside me that makes me feel good. And we're putting it at a level, at that same level where we were feeling bad before because of something externally that happened. But now this is something that we've done, we've constantly created, that's helping us to feel well. And then again, our system becomes energy producers,
Right.
working for us and healing us, as opposed to energy consumers, where we're just surviving. And we
Right.
don't have that joy and that gratitude and that gratefulness and the love that just helps us to keep going. So
Right.
how did you feel about that? How did you feel after that quick breath?
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, yeah, I definitely felt, and immediately I felt more calm, more grounded, more focused. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was amazing. And I love how, you mentioned that, see the connection between being intentional with our goal setting and actually having goals and our energy levels, like you mentioned. Because, I thought back to a time where I did not set goals. I kind of just let life and the world kind of take me wherever I was going to go. I wasn't intentional about creating that control and that path for myself. And that takes a lot of energy if you think about it.
definitely.
I mean, that's why, you feel drained. You're not really focused on your own health in various different ways. But when you actually are intentional about setting goals for yourself and taking the steps to plan out and chunk those bigger goals down and always be moving the needle forward, that's really focusing your energy. And then, with the breath, I love that practice, how, it's so easy, you can do it immediately. That when you find yourself in a state to where you feel scatterbrained or a little overwhelmed, you can immediately take that control back and
Yes.
empower yourself and be able to move forward. So I love that.
It's very powerful. I mean, as we mentioned before, it's the first thing that we do to come into this world, and it's the last thing we do. We give that breath back, or we give that spirit back. Or
Yeah.
in the ancient Hebrew, the word was ruah, R-U-A-H, which literally means spirit. And in some translations, it's Holy Spirit, or a breath of life that comes from the Creator Himself. So if we have this within us, and for me, it's not an if, I know it's there for
Yes.
all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Without it, we don't live. We have that strength within us, and we can actually tap into it to use it for our benefit. And I think that's what we've all been pushed away from.
Right.
We don't really talk about the things that bring us joy, and the things that bring us peace, and the things that helps us to be in control of who we are. But we're constantly giving things from the outside. Join this, join that. I mean, root for this, root for that. But it's hardly ever about ourselves. And really, to be really effective, we have to know who we are. And if we know why we're here, then that makes the experience makes it a beautiful experience for us, especially when we know why.
Yes, no, I love that. How, you made a great point about, in this world and in society, we're being told, to find what we want and need externally, and getting pushed away from remembering that, it's all internal. If we want to be happy, if we want to be empowered, if we want to be at peace, if we want to be healthy, it all starts here. We don't need to go looking for it somewhere else. I'm expecting other people to make us happy, expecting other people to make us healthy. It's like you said, it all starts with us. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's so powerful. You remember that I was able to heal completely from a stroke
Yes.
without any major deficits. It took 10 years, 7 years for the memory to come back. However, just understanding the energy, the power that we have, and just simply having the belief in the scientific community, they understand the placebo effect.
Right.
In the spiritual world or in religion, they call it faith. But just that alone will put you on the right path, to healing. We all need to heal, so we can find out where we are. And you mentioned it so eloquently. It takes energy to do that. And when we're exhausted by what's going on around us, we may never, ever have a chance to do that internal work. But if we use the breath, we get that energy back. I mean, we're worth it. We have to come home. So I'll call this the year to come home and reclaim who we are. Yeah. And then we'll never, ever, ever be impacted so much by the things that's going on around us outside. On the outside.
Yes. No, I love that. So we've talked about some wonderful things. You've given us so many great gems already. But I know that we talked about it a little bit, but what other things do you feel like contributes to a person's success with their goal setting and achieving their goals? I know we talked about, really it all starts with yourself and being aware and things like that. But what other things do you feel like contribute to a person's success?
Becoming a person of value and understanding that when we're persons of value, we want others around us to feel the same way, to feel good like we want to rediscover themselves. So it's not hard for us to smile at someone or to give a compliment to someone. And you never know, just that simple compliment or that smile may just be the thing that person needs to just get them through the day. Right. So once you start that, you put things in motion on a spiritual level. Then you can call it by whatever name you want: law of attraction, karma, spirituality, reaping what you sow. But you set a number of things in action, and it all really comes right back to you. Mm-hmm. So if you really understand that, really understand that, then your intentions will always be to be of service to others. Mm-hmm. Understanding completely that it all comes back to you anyway. Right. And there's nothing that we can do to interrupt that cycle. But if we understand it and put ourselves in it, but if we're not in it, then of course it doesn't work for us. Right. So, that's what I would say. Become someone of value and let others, feel the impact of your presence. Yeah, that is great. Thank you so much for that. So can you just remind our audience, who you are and what it is that you do and how they can connect and follow you? Sure. You can find me at realnolimitsguru.com. My position is I'm here to help individuals find out who they are and how they can be the best person that they can be without looking for anything from the outside. And also that we have the energy, we have the power to heal ourselves. There's so much that we can do that we've just never had our attention focused in on that. Mm-hmm. I've studied with some of the best minds. I've read, I've done the research from all of the latest thought leaders that are out there and just pick the gems from these guys and what we can do. So I teach you through the breath, step by step, how to access your prefrontal lobe, the prefrontal cortex. That's our strategy center in our brain. That's our memory. And when we're not in harmony, we don't get to use that as effectively. So we show you how to tap into your energy directly into that. Mm-hmm. And I teach you how to tap your energy directly into the heart and into your gut, and having all of these systems work together without having to pay a thing. It doesn't cost anything to do these things. Right. So, I'm all about, service, getting the word out to others, that you can be the best you can be and not pay anybody anything. But if anyone like to contribute to helping others, of course, we're all for that as well. But it's No Limits Guru, realnolimitsguru.com on Instagram, Twitter, and you can find my book on Amazon, The Science of Feeling Good, and please reach out and connect with me on the website. I'll be happy to talk with you and anyone else anyone of your listeners as well.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. And we will have links to ways to connect with and follow John in the video description below. So again, you've given us so much great stuff, but do you have any final thoughts or key takeaways that you want people watching this to walk away with?
Yes. It all begins with feeling good about who we are, but self-love. It's very difficult to be of value to others when we devalue ourselves. And we have to understand that a lot of the thoughts, the emotions, and the feelings that we have, they didn't originate with us. We didn't create these.
Right.
And taking control means that we have to do an inventory of the things that could possibly no longer serve us, and especially if it makes us feel in a way that we really don't appreciate, or if it takes away from our joy and our peace. So it's really just time to come home, and love yourself, and be kind to yourself, and be gentle to yourself, and be the person that you would want to live next door to for yourself.
Yeah.
So love yourself is my message, and be kind to yourself.
Love it. Thank you so much, John, for being here and for giving us all this insights and these wonderful gems. I really appreciate all of you, all of your sharing with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, audience, for being here. Be sure to like, comment, and share if you are enjoying this and getting as much out of this series as I am. And as always, be sure to subscribe below if you haven't already. And we will see you in the next video. Wow, such amazing knowledge, insight, and so many wonderful gems and nuggets, right? I hope you took away some great tips and words of wisdom from this episode. Now, that bonus video that I mentioned about how to implement all this, you can find it in the video description below. Just click on the link. So excited for you as you create intention, clarity, and success for the new year.